All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the opening bell live on a Friday morning. The time now is just 9 minutes or 2 minutes after 9. Welcome back, everyone, streaming live from our Joburg office. I hope you guys had a great week. Hope you guys are having a good morning. Like I said, it is a Friday today. We're going to wrap everything up. And so we're not going to waste time. We're going to jump straight into it. All right. So we've said a lot this week in terms of the war. All right. We've given you updates with the war. We've gone through the charts with the war, and nothing has changed, right? Nothing has changed from yesterday, from Wednesday. So that still remains the same, all right? So in terms of the war, we still follow the movements we spoke about, the analysis we did on the trading room yesterday. We're still watching those and looking at the analysis, all right? Looking for direction. What I want to talk about this morning, just to keep it very brief, right? Just to wrap up the week, is the latest news out of Apple. The latest news out of Apple. All right. So Apple has announced, and I'm sure you guys might have seen this, but Apple has announced a major leadership transition. All right. So it has announced that the current CEO, by the name of Tim Cook, will step down effective September 1st. Right, and he will transition to the role of an executive chairman of the board, right? So now Tim Cook, who's been the CEO for 15 years, he's stepping down in September, and then they've already appointed a new CEO by the name of John, right? He has been in the company. He has served as, or he's currently serving as the vice president of hardware engineering. Right. So yeah, so this is the news that made headline this week. And so we know we know how big the company Apple is. And this reminds me of the announcement that Warren Buffett said, right? Last year, Warren Buffett announced that he's going to be stepping down as the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, Berkshire Hathaway, Berkshire Hathaway, right? And he's going to be stepping down as the CEO, but he's going to transition to the role or he's going to stay as a chairperson of the board. All right. And what happened that time is the market didn't react immediately upon the announcement. It took some time, but now it went into a phase of bearish movements, right? The stock fell. Shortly after that, the stock fell for a couple of months. And then from there on, it started to go towards the upside. And around that time, obviously, when someone like that announces that transition within the company, investors are going to be not shaken, but they're going to be a little bit concerned, right? Because Warren Buffett took the company from where it was to where it is right now. So definitely investors will be concerned. Some are going to try to manage whatever they manage. But what happened around that time, not immediately after the announcement, but shortly after that, the market went down. So we are looking at Apple right now, the Apple stock, with the latest developments, the latest news. We want to see how it will react, right? There's a possibility that there could be a sell-off. There could be a sell-off, but not a major sell-off before price goes up, right? The stock is still bullish. The stock is still bullish, right? It is still creating this big bullish structure. And this is where it is right now. So from a tech standpoint, right? From a tech standpoint, we remain bullish. This is the target we have on Apple, right? We're anticipating Apple to reach that top, right? But looking at this price action here, right? There's a possibility that a sell-off could take place. The market could sell off first before it goes up. And this sell-off might be in a form of a correction, or it could just be an impulse, right? So now, if this sell-off happens, you have this low that formed down here, right? This sell-off could visit these lows again. It could visit these lows again, tap this low again one more time before it goes up, right? Before it goes up, right? So there could be that sell-off that could come. At the same time, this is in terms of the structure we're seeing, right? At the same time, the market can still go up from where it is because it is pushing up. So what I'm trying to say here is any sell-offs that that could happen as a result of this leadership transition, price could come back down to this low. But it will depend, right? It will depend what happens, because this was announced sometime this week. It will depend what happens from now up until the 1st of September, right? So now price could come back down here one more time before it goes up, or it could just go up from there. I think the major direction one would want is this bullish move, right? One would want to capitalize on the continuation of this current trend, because this is the trend right now, right? So if this trend keeps forming these corrections, it will continue pushing up, right? It forms corrections, it will continue pushing up, right? But at some point, if it shows signs of a reversal, along the way, if it shows signs of a reversal, then we're going to sit back and watch for and look for this possibility, right? If we get proper confirmation, then we could get price selling off back down to this low before it goes up. All right, so that is basically how Apple is looking at the moment, right? With the news that happened, with the announcement that happened, and we are then gonna see what Apple is gonna do. All right, and yeah, so this is basically what we have for you guys. Keep an eye on the Apple stock, and also keep an eye on the war. Keep an eye on the gold, the dollar pairs, oil, and let's see what's gonna happen next week, right? Anything can happen during this weekend. So yeah, we'll then come back on Tuesday and see if there's any changes. If not, the markets will remain as they are, right? Extension of a ceasefire, no deal from Iran, and the US, the Strait of Hormuz is still being blockaded by the US. So those things remain in place. As a result, oil could easily continue rising towards the upside, gold also towards the upside. And yeah, so whatever we spoke about this week, we're still keeping an eye on those movements. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it from our side this morning. Apple, Tim Cook stepping down. And yeah, there's going to be great opportunities on the stock. Right. Have a good day, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one. Enjoy your weekend. We'll catch you guys back on the next session. Cheers.